Hello, hello. Hi. I'm just giving you a heads up. Today is like the day of like all the tech issues. And right now my fire alarms have been going off, on and off all morning. So I'm just hoping that does not happen during this live. You will hear it beeping though. I've literally taken the battery out. I've tried turning the power off. I have no idea what else to do. So if anyone is a fire alarm expert, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with the annoying beeping. Ooh, like I am. But hopefully it doesn't actually go off during the live like it has been doing this morning. So I'm so excited to talk today. Today's topic is huge and it's something that, hi Justina, so nice to see you here. Today's topic is actually, it's a really big deal and I actually want you to take notes today. I'm going to try and go through this as quickly as I can to just really give you all the information that you need, but imposter syndrome is real. It's actually a real, legit feeling and it makes us feel very alone. It actually pauses, halts, paralyzes, it kills businesses before they even start. And honestly, if people, the people that I have watched drop off, I started my business with, I don't know, there was like sort of 75 of us, and we kind of all went through this coaching program together, and I've watched them all drop over the years, and a lot of it has to do with imposter syndrome and not being able to actually work through it and get yourself around it. So what is imposter syndrome? And it's basically the fear of being found incompetent. It's the fear of being found incompetent. What does it feel like? It's that sick feeling in your stomach that one day you're going to be found out. It's that like fear of who am I to be doing this? Or, who am I to be doing this? How, I think that's just the best way to sum it up, right? It's like that sick feeling in your stomach. If you're feeling like you're struggling with imposter syndrome, what does it feel like in your body? How is it showing up for you? Let us know in the comments. And what I found really interesting, I've actually done a ton of research. Thanks, Valerie. Hi, nice to see you. I've done a ton of research on imposter syndrome because not only did I suffer from it, and sometimes I still do, but every single one of the hundreds of people, men and women, who I've worked with have felt and struggled with imposter syndrome. Every single one of them. So I did a lot of research on it. And apparently, they did this study with like major CEOs of multi-million and billion-dollar companies, and 85% of them admitted to struggling with and suffering from imposter syndrome, even at the level that they're at. And the other 15%, they found out they were lying. So that means 100% of people experience imposter syndrome. And the ironic piece is that the more successful we become, the stronger imposter syndrome actually gets. And I remember thinking in the beginning of my business, well, once I've already created results in people's lives and once I get to a certain level, the imposter syndrome will go away. And it doesn't. It just gets stronger and stronger because you're stepping into a new way of being. You're stepping into a new way of living. You're stepping into doing something that maybe you've never done before. And so you're only going to feel that stronger. So what does it do? How does it hold our business? It's so refreshing to know we are not alone in our struggle with this. Valerie, you are so not alone. Everybody feels it. And actually, it's been found that women struggle from this more than men. So it's a very legit thing. I've worked with hundreds of women to really work through imposter syndrome, and I'm going to share with you exactly how I do that. I'm going to give you my 6 steps here in just a minute. But what does it look like, and how does it actually hold your business back? One, it creates 2 things: perfectionism and workaholism. Is that a word or is that not a word? Can we just call that a word? Workaholism, workaholics, I don't know. I'm calling it a word, workaholism. It's not a word, is it? Okay, so you can hear my fire alarm. I don't know what to do. It's beeping and I've taken the batteries out. This thing is like still alive. So it creates workaholism and it creates perfectionism. This is the biggest piece. It creates the needing to know everything, yet never knowing enough. I'm going to say that again because that's huge. Write this down. It looks like, imposter syndrome looks like in the majority of people, needing to know everything before you start a business, before you start a project, before you launch the new program, before you create a website, the needing to know everything. Yet you never feel like you know enough. Okay, the needing to know everything, yet you never feel like you know enough. That is classic imposter syndrome, and that is why people get stuck in the, well, once I take this certification, I will know enough to start my business. Yes, you're describing me. Yeah, 100%. Once I get my website perfect, then I'll be able to launch my program. Or once I have all the details worked out of my program, then I'll be able to put it out there. You're constantly procrastinating. You're constantly trying to make everything perfect. And you're spinning in this cycle and you're never getting anything done and you're stuck. You're never going to create income in your business. And this is when a lot of people fail because it paralyzes us. It paralyzes us. It causes mood swings. We procrastinate, which makes things worse because we're now not getting any results. Our confidence goes down. We start to doubt ourselves. Why isn't this working? The fear of failure. Holy fuck, I'm actually failing. It's happening. And it like spins us in this huge downward cycle. So how do we stop this from happening? How do we get out of imposter syndrome so that we can actually move forward and have the impact that we want to have? I feel like there are a few steps, and I'm going to share those with you right now. So one, we are going to recognize that we are in what I call the cycle of perceived inadequacy. Beep. We're going to recognize depression kicks in. Yes, depression, anxiety, oh my God, the whole bit. And then businesses fail. That's exactly why businesses fail. So here's how to get yourself out of that cycle. I call it the cycle of perceived inadequacy. Take notes, please. Write this down. So we want to the cycle of perceived inadequacy. Here's how this goes. The first part of it is we're actually focusing so intently on what we perceive we don't do well. Okay? We're focusing too much on what we perceive we don't do well. Then what happens is we compare ourselves to others, okay? We compare ourselves to others. The next phase in the cycle is we focus on what we perceive others are doing well. We focus on what we perceive others are doing well. Then we move to the next phase of the cycle. This magnifies our perceived inadequacy. Okay, and then we are back to, boom, imposter syndrome. So we focus, one, on what we perceive we're not doing well. Two, we compare ourselves to others. Oh my God, they're doing this, that, the other thing. Look how amazing they are. Oh my God, look how amazing they are. Da, 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 da. We're focusing on what we're perceiving others are doing well. Then it's going to only magnify our own perceived inadequacy. Geez, I could never do it like she does it. I could never do it like he does it. So why the hell am I even going to attempt it anyway? Feelings of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, lack of confidence, anxiety, depression, failure, fear of failure, quitting. We then choose to quit because of this cycle of inadequacy. So by recognizing that we're in this cycle of perceived inadequacy, and notice how I say perceived, I'm going to share with you how to move out of this cycle of perceived inadequacy. But recognizing that you're in the cycle and knowing where you are in one of those four stages is going to allow you to bring that thought to the present and take action through these next steps, okay? So when we are in this imposter syndrome, again, once we've focused on what we perceive we don't do well, we compare ourselves to others, we focus on what we perceive they're doing really well, which magnifies our perceived inadequacy. Again, this creates us to overwork, to try and overcompensate, to overdeliver, to underprice, to think that everything needs to be perfect, to feel like we need to know everything in order to start, yet we never feel like we know enough. It paralyzes us. We go into the mood swings, procrastination, low self-confidence, self-doubt, fear of failure, quit, right? We go down the fucking rabbit hole. So first step is recognize where you are in the cycle of perceived inadequacy. Two, we're going to take a leap of faith, all right? So take a leap of faith. Nobody, even Michelle Obama talks about how she has constantly dealt with with imposter syndrome. We all feel imposter syndrome, yet we act anyway. Taking a leap of faith, feeling the fear, doing it anyway. Recognizing that, hey, what I'm feeling is normal, but I'm going to act anyway, is the first step in just overcoming imposter syndrome. Trust yourself, okay? The next is notice and name. So recognize, I am feeling like an imposter right now. Name it. Recognize your thought. This is just a thought. This isn't who you are. This isn't your truth. This isn't your soul self. This isn't your wise woman soul self speaking. This is your tiny little fucking ego speaking, trying to keep you safe. It's doing its job, so we can't blame it, but it's trying to keep you safe, okay? Name it and notice it. The next piece that I have my clients do, create a brag sheet. Create a brag sheet. What have you done in the past that you didn't think you could do, that you absolutely kicked ass at, and you were so proud of yourself, right? So for me, I told this, I was doing the Q&A call for Soul Business Accelerator this morning, and the very first thing that I ever wanted to do that I didn't think I could do was I wanted to become a lifeguard. From the time that I was like 14, I wanted to become a lifeguard, and I don't know why, I just did not think that I could do it. But finally I turned 16, I became old enough, I went through lifeguard certification, and I did it, and I became a lifeguard all through college. I taught swim lessons, I saved, I think it was like 12 people. I had to jump off my chair and into the pool and save 12 people, and I was so proud of myself. And that moment, I realized I can actually do anything that I put my mind to. And so the next thing on my brag sheet is, after graduating from college, all of my friends were getting jobs, getting married, having babies, and I took off and went backpacking around Europe for a year by myself. By myself. If I can do that, I can jump on a fucking Facebook Live. I can go and like hold a beautiful workshop for 2 to 5 incredible women. I can offer my programs and services. I backpacked around Europe by myself for a whole year when I was 21 years old. The next thing on my brag list is getting a master's degree. The next thing on my brag list is when I was 27, I had a quarter life crisis and I was living in Denver. I had an amazing job and I quit. I quit my job. I donated all of my furniture. I gave my car to my best friend, and I broke up with my boyfriend, and I moved to Australia with nothing but a backpack and a box. That was it. And I started over. Create a brag sheet of the things that you have done that you know are going to power you back up. They're going to fuel you with that confidence of, wow, I can really do things that I put my mind to, and I am so much more capable than this imposter syndrome is making me feel right now. And I get goosebumps because I still have to do this myself, right? I'm going for $1 million in my business, and 5 years ago, who am I to be a millionaire? And I've had to really work through that. Nobody else in my family is a millionaire, but I'm gonna be the first one to do it, right? So it's really working around, it's taking the time to work through this. And the next step in working through imposter syndrome is give yourself a freaking break. It's okay not to know. It is okay not to know. Nobody expects you to be a guru. We just need to be a contributor at this point. Nobody expects you to know everything. Nobody expects you to even be, nobody expects you to be a guru. We just need to be a contributor. And what I found is that when you start to trust yourself, now I can obviously pull on, like I create incredible results in my own business. I create incredible results in women's businesses. My clients are hitting 6 figures, left, right, and center, and multiple 6 figures even. So I have things to back this on. But before I had actual results to back things on, I trusted myself to know that I will figure it out. Okay, so when I was first starting my coaching business and I was working with clients one-on-one, I started as a career coach and then moved into like spiritual life purpose. I didn't know what I was doing. Yes, I was certified, but I had never worked with people in this capacity before. So I trusted myself to do everything in my power to figure it out. So before I had a client session, I would look back on my notes and I would see, okay, here's where this client was, here's what they're struggling with, here's where I think they probably need to go, and I would research the hell out of how to get them there. So I would sometimes spend 2 hours prepping for a client session to make sure that I could get them where they needed to go. So it's really being okay with not knowing, but trusting yourself that you're gonna figure it out. Ask for help, hire a mentor, hire a coach, right? You wanna know how to create transformation in people's lives? Join my program, Soul Business Accelerator. I help you create a kick-ass 90-day program that's gonna get people where they wanna be. I share exactly with you how to do that, and I personally, my team and I help you do that yourselves, right? So ask for help, it's okay. And then the last piece to busting through imposter syndrome is laughing it off. Sometimes we just take ourselves way too flippin' serious, and I honestly could have decided not to do this live because I have this fire alarm beeping in my ear, sending my dog into a panic, but nothing needs to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. The message that I have to share is more important than me feeling like everything on this live has to be perfect, right? So laugh it off. Like, it's funny. Why is this thing beeping in my ear? And why are fire alarms constantly going off in my house today? I have no idea. Don't take yourself so seriously. Laugh it off. Recognize like, hey, I'm just human and I'm trying to figure things out. And nobody wants perfect anyway. People think perfect is boring. Isn't it boring? And like, who wants to... Perfect is boring, and the perfection of, or the idea and the image of perfect is not what people are looking for anyway. So give yourself a break and just laugh it off. Put a little bit of humor in there. Tell yourself a joke. I don't know. Pretend like whatever it is that you're doing, I don't know, just laugh a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna check some of your comments. I love what you've taught on today, so much resonance. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad. So again, I just really want you to recognize that you're in the cycle of perceived inadequacy. To take a leap of faith, to notice and name that you're feeling that feeling, to actually focus on the facts, create your brag sheet, know that it's okay not to know, and finally laugh it off, okay? If you want support with any of this, building your business, my program Soul Business Accelerator is a 90-day program, a roadmap to 6 figures. We are getting incredible results. Women are earning $5, $10, $15, $20,000 months, hitting 6 figures. We have one place open for an August start, 2 for September. We are even filling January start spots. So send me a message. I will have you book a call with my team or me to see if it's the right program for you. And of course, we work through imposter syndrome. It's one of the biggest things that hold people back. It's why businesses fail. It's why your beautiful gifts are going unshared. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I love you all so much. Get out there, do the work that you're meant to do. You're here for a reason. The world needs you. The world needs your medicine. And if you need some support and guidance, please just feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you. I can't wait to start in a couple of weeks. Michelle. Yes, Michelle is jumping in. Michelle, I'm so excited that you're joining us. You're absolutely going to love the women in the community. And all right, I will relieve you from this beeping. Justina, you're so welcome. And I'll see you all on the next live. Mwah.